Hi, my name's Anna Romsek, and this is my introduction video. So to start, who am I? I grew up in Hazlet, Michigan with my family, who's pictured here. My mom, my dad, and my brother, who's 2 years younger than me. I live in Bath in an apartment with my two cats. So this is one of them. Her name is Mila. She is a Bambino Sphinx, so she has no fur, and she's also got like short little legs. And then the other cat, her name's Sassy. I just sort of happened to get her unexpectedly because someone I knew was looking for a home for her. And then in these other pictures, in my free time when I'm not working at school, I actually teach at my friend's dance studio in Mason, Michigan. So these are some pictures. I usually teach the younger kids, so 3 to 5 year olds. Actually, this year it was 2.5 to 3, and then 3 to 5, and then sometimes I teach a little bit older groups. And then this last picture is like the competitive team from a couple years ago. So I go and I travel with them just around the state, and then once a year somewhere out of state for a national dance competition. I mean, that takes up a big portion of my life too. Other than that, I like to read and hang out with friends and family, and of course watch, Netflix and things. So for academics and teaching, I graduated from MSU in 2016 and then did my internship at Sheridan Road. It's a STEM school in Lansing. I was an intern in 5th grade, and then the following year I actually got hired in the 6th grade position that was open. So I got to have a lot of my kids from my internship a second year in a row, which was awesome and honestly made the best first year I probably could have ever expected to have. And then after that year, one of the 5th grade teachers actually took over as our principal. And so I moved back down to 5th grade where I started. So I've been at Sheridan Road this entire time. And it's funny that I got placed there because mom and my grandma actually went to school there. And it just happened by chance that I ended up interning there. And now that's where I've started my career. I teach all subjects, readers and writers. So um, obviously, at some point, I have encountered some readers and writers who are not so excited. They're hesitant, they don't enjoy it. So, for example, for writers to start, I had a student who, when I actually had him when I interned in 5th grade, and then they put him with me in 6th grade the next year too. He was very hard to motivate for schoolwork in general, but he was an avid reader. So reading was not a problem, and he had great ideas, but he hated writing. It was just too much work. It was just one of those things he didn't want to do. My mentor teacher and I finally, by the end of the 5th grade year, kind of discovered that if we had let him sort of type, so we didn't replace, but of course, we didn't replace all writing. We still made him do it with other subjects, so he still had that practice. But when it came to like large writing assignments, when we wrote for the Calberry writing competition that Lansing School District does, or we wrote personal narratives, we let him actually type and then go back and edit his drafts that way. And he would write 20 pages if he could. He would type them all, wouldn't stop, loved it. He would ask, even when he'd get upset, he'd say, "Can I take a break and go type my stories?" So he actually truly loved writing. He was very good at it. He, in 5th grade, got like 3rd place in our Calberry writing competition. So just seeing how we could accommodate him and his learning styles and what worked best for him was very beneficial. As for reluctant readers, I feel like we all run into this a lot. I know a common one is, especially like 5th grade boys. There's a big chunk of them that truly hate reading. I had also in my internship year another student who reading was like his least favorite thing. He had a lot of behavior problems. At his conference, we actually suggested he had a great conference, which was awesome because his behavior got so much better throughout the school year. But his mom wanted him to do more work. So we're like, well, he could borrow a couple books and take those home to read, and he was literally in tears because he hates reading so much. But in the end, we did a book club near the end of that year, and finding a book that he might even be somewhat interested was quite complicated. We ended up choosing The Lightning Thief for that group, and he actually really took to it because the main character, Percy Jackson, I feel he related to him on a personal level. So it's really just about finding those books and encouraging students, and making sure books aren't at a level of frustration for them. Those are some of my experiences with some, those hesitant or students who just are not about reading and writing. All right, so literacy challenges in wanting to learn. I put these two together because I feel like all the literacy challenges that I faced or I'm facing with my students in the classroom, new things I come upon, these are the things that I want to learn from this class. I want to help improve. So I kind of felt like they went hand in hand. I felt like I'd be talking about the same two things. I put these two pictures of one of the groups of students I've had in here because I just think it helps show how diverse students in my school are, which is one of the things that I find sometimes as a challenge. So our school has a huge population of English language learners, which is like one of my favorite things about our school, but it does lend to some challenges in the classroom. We have students coming in at all different levels of English. I've had students before who are half day in our English language learning program because they're just very new to the language. But at the same time, they spend a lot of the day in class with me. So their spoken language, their understanding. I've had kids come in who are brand new and have little to no experience. So that's one of those things where I'm hoping to learn from this class how I can more accommodate them compared to a student who has been speaking English their whole life, and has very high skills with it, which I'll see too. And then we also have a good population of special ed students. I know this year our school's starting with 40 kids, and we're only a 456 building, and we're starting with about 40 kids with IEPs. So that also gives a whole nother range of students. So just trying to figure out a way I can accommodate for them, but also hitting the needs of the learners in my classroom who are either at or above grade level as well. So I think that's really been my biggest challenge, and what I want to learn the most is just the best way to accommodate all the learners in my classroom at all the different levels they come in with, the different experiences, the different backgrounds, different motivation levels. Just how can I differentiate and accommodate to them based on where they're at, what skills they're coming in with, what skills they need more practice with, they're working towards. But it's just something I've always had a hard time with because I feel like it's something that is very challenging to reach those students who are above grade level while you're also reaching those students and doing things that benefit those students who are not at grade level yet, those students who are new to the language entirely, and then those students who are right at grade level. So just trying to find a way within the literacy to accommodate and help benefit everyone the best that I can.